Welcome to the TPO Fly of the Month for October 2008. This month we're going to tie the Torrey's Improved Hare's Ear. Here's a look at the finished fly, tied in the round. I'm going to take that one out. I'm going to put the hook in. For this fly I'm going to use a size 14 TMC 100 SPBL. It's a barbless hook with a super point. Alright, my thread's going to be 70 Ultra Thread UTC in dark brown. Usually we don't put a bead on this one, but since we're all tying weighted flies, I figured I'd use a tungsten bead and lead underbody. So I'm going to use a 2.3 millimeter black tungsten bead. I'm going to use 10 thousandths lead wire. I'm only going to wrap 8 or 9 wraps just to keep the bead placed at the front of the hook near the eye, just to give it a little extra weight. Alright, I'm going to take my thread, I'm going to wrap on the lead wire. I'm going to try to cover most of it. I'm going to cut the thread. Give it a couple of fast wraps, cover that as much as I can. Alright, I'm going to come down near the rear of the hook. I'm going to take my tails. My tails are going to come from this part of the rabbit's mask in here. It's very durable. Tails don't get broken off the fly. Fly lasts a little longer, does a great job. So the story behind this one is Torrey and I were fishing the Little J and fished the gorge section. Get to this really nice riffle. I'm like, oh boy, we're gonna get a lot together, and throw it in. Not catching any fish. All of a sudden Torrey's whacking them left and right. And here I am, you know, I have my good old trusty ice case caddis on. And my, two-tone San Juan worm, which works great there no matter what section you fish. And Torrey's getting me with a good clip. So naturally, the first thing is like, how you rigged up. Alright, we're all the same. We got the same amount of weight. Well, I look at the flies. Torrey's got the hare's ear on. And he told me he's using a hare's ear. And I'm sitting there like, there's no way. So I look at the hare's ear. And I'm like, well, that's not a hare's ear. He goes, yeah, like, you think I use a regular hare's ear? I should have been smarter than that, but you never know, because he likes that stupid twist nymph. And the fox squirrel. But here's Torrey's fly. So Torrey uses the hairs from the head of the rabbit's hare's ear mask. He uses copper wire instead of gold tinsel. Alright, he has his own special blend of hare's ear, which you could see in here, it sparkles like crazy. Alright, dub a very slim abdomen, see here. Alright. Now I'm going to wrap the copper wire. You could bet that when we were done fishing that day, Torrey didn't have too many of these left in his box. This has actually become a staple in my fly box because this thing can imitate anything. Not just mayfly nymphs, but obviously that day is probably imitating crane fly larvae as we look back at it, which the little Juniata has tons of. Alright, so I dubbed my body about 2/3. Now for the wing case, this is another one. We all love thin skin because it shines and it adds a little bit of a trigger. So he uses black thin skin for the wing case. So I'm going to tie my black thin skin. I'm going to go down another third the hook. It's a real simple fly again. I don't like to tie many, complicated flies. I like to get them done pretty quick, and they're all fish catchers. Fish don't know how long it took you to make this. So we're going to start dubbing the thorax. Now my thorax has to be a little bit thicker than the body, so I'm going to start here. Now a little trick is before you finish the fly, look at it. Okay, we should make it a little bit thicker. So I'm going to dub even more. I'm going real sparse. Here we go. Let me wrap this over. Now that looks about right. So I'm going to tie down the wing case. You notice that reflection? Okay, now I'm going to clip the thin skin. Now I'm going to dub one more time right behind the bead, just to hide all my thread wraps. And before I finish the fly, like I said before, we're going to glue this thing. Going to glue the thread. Going to wrap 2 more times and now I'm going to whip finish it. Ever since Davey told me to put the glue on the thread with the brush before I finish my fly, I don't think I've had a fly come apart. So there's Torrey's improved hares here. Tucker likes it. There it is. One other thing you might want to do when you're finished with the fly is you might want to take a piece of Velcro and Velcro out the bottom to create a more buggy effect. But there's your fly of the month, the Torrey's improved hares here.